This is how to get the Raygun Mk2 in Shattered Veil in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Now before we get this started, I'd recommend spawning in with either Molotovs or Tomahawks just to make things a little bit easier. At about round 11, a special blue-eyed zombie will spawn down in the mainframe area, and you simply need to take him out and pick up the floppy disk that he drops. Once you have your floppy, take it to the east foyer room opposite Stamina Up and stick it in the computer. A bunch of vermin and parasites will spawn in, and you'll need to take them out and wait for the fax machine to give you a message. Interact with the fax machine and a message will display on your screen. This message will have an all caps word on it, in my case Yeti, that you'll need to take note of. Once you've got your 4-letter word, run to the nursery to the right of PhD Flopper, where you'll see a chalkboard with a bunch of letters on it. Now each of these groups has a certain number of letters on it that you'll use to figure out your code. And since my word was Yeti, I need to find the group of letters that has a Y. And looking at the board, the top left group has the Y, so I'd count the number of letters in that group to get my first number. In my case, it's 5. Then we move on to the next letter E, and it's in a grouping of 7 letters. Then we need to find the T, which is in a grouping of 8. Then we find I, which is in that grouping of 5. So my code is 5785. Take your code down to the service tunnel and input it into the keypad that's holding the chicken. This is a boss chicken, so take him out and pick up the severed arm that he drops. Now run to the armory, attach the hand, and congratulations, you now have your very own Raygun Mk2. Now to get the different Mk2 variants, we'll need to collect a total of 3 empty canisters. The first canister has 4 different possible locations, and you'll need the Raygun Mk2 to break encapsulated bodies. The first possible location is in the east foyer room at the top of the stairs. The second location is on the inner roof of the conservatory. The third location is found outside of the nursery above the southwest balcony. And the fourth and final location is at the end of the service tunnel right up there. Now for the second canister, this is why at the beginning of the video I said to spawn in with Tomahawks. We need to take note of this letter, either A or B. Now to the left of the chicken cage, you'll see these pipes with gears spewing some gas. Throw your Tomahawks to turn the gears in the middle, and whichever letter was to the left of that big canister. In my case, it's A. You'll know when you've done it successfully when your pipes are spewing gas and you get some confirmation of some SAM dialogue. Run back to the big canister, shoot it, and then pick up your baby canister. For the third and final canister, you'll need to get a black hole grenade or a Casimir, and right down underneath double tap, you'll throw your Casimir.
Have fun going down that rabbit hole.
After your black hole disappears, the canister will be able to be picked up. The first version of the Mk2 that we'll be making is the purple or shotgun variant. We need to grab 2 reflectors, and the first can be found to the right of Quick Revive in this stone flower bed. The second reflector is on the opposite wall of PhD Flopper right here. Now all throughout the map there will be these white crates you need to break apart. We're looking for an ether bomb that we'll use to blow up some rubble. Mine just so happened to be in the armory. When you have your bomb, head to the left of the armor wall by down in the service tunnel and place the bomb. Now head down into the tunnel to the serpent mound where you'll find 3 spots where you can put the reflectors. Once you've got 2 of them placed, head to the machine and insert your canister. Ether energy will be reflected off the reflectors, and you might need to melee them to realign them to different positions. Your goal here is to get the energy to be reflected onto these chicken statues. Then shoot or melee the main crystal to transfer the energy. This will result in the chicken coming alive, so take it out and proceed to the next one. Melee the reflectors to change their positions to another chicken statue, and then shoot or melee the crystal to transfer the energy. Take out that chicken and then we'll move on to the third and final one. Now run and take the closest reflector up the path and place it on its stand. Melee it to put it into its position. Once the beam is properly aligned, transfer the energy and take out this boss chicken. After he's defeated, wait a moment and then go and pick up the filled canister.
To the brim, baby.
Next, run to the director's quarters and insert the canister into the workbench, and then craft the shotgun variant.
My day just got 1,000 times better.
For the yellow or Marksman variant, you either need napalm burst or molotovs to burn mushrooms from around the map, so go and get either or. You'll need to collect a total of 4 seeds.
District. I'm guessing Rick often lived there full time. Saved himself the...
If for whatever reason your shroom bursts into a gas, simply flip the round and try again. But once you've got all 4 seeds, head to the top of the conservatory and place your canister. Then you'll need to place a seed in the greenhouse box and protect it as it grows. Once it's big and bulby like this, you've completed it, and then you can move on to the other 3. If for whatever reason your seed gets knocked out, pick it up and replant it. Once the 4th and final shroom is completed, all the shrooms will disappear, and their essence will be sucked into the canister, so go and pick it up. Now return back to spawn, insert the filled canister into the workbench, and then craft the Marksman variant.
You know what happens when you don't wash your hands?
Now for the blue or SMG variant, my personal favorite, it's one of the easiest to get, but it's a little annoying. So across from Speed Cola in Shem's Henge, insert your canister into the machine. Now depending on how many players you have in the game, this will determine how many abominations will spawn in. I think this is easier with more abominations, but on solo, only 1 spawns. There are 3 smaller boulders you'll need the abomination to shoot with its lasers, and then you need him to charge into them. You'll know you've done it successfully when the rocks start floating. Now once all 3 are floating, the abominations will despawn, and you'll need to go to the center ring and protect it from the vermin trying to stop the essence sucking from happening. Now to make this step a little easier, the GS45s would make this a breeze. Now after about a minute of utter chaos, go and pick up your canister. If you fail, you'll need to flip the round and reactivate the machine. Next, head down to the supply depot opposite the armory and insert your canister into the workbench and then craft the SMG variant. But that is all of the upgrade steps for each of the different Mark II variants. If this video was helpful to you, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more gaming content. Peace.